Welcome back. Controlling flies, optimizing immunity, and reproductive efficiency are goals of most cattlemen, and they're issues that can be supported by focusing on nutrition. Land O'Lakes Purina Feeds is working hard to ensure cattle get proper nutrition and minerals into their diets to optimize herd health, quality, and productivity. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter heads to Bloomington, Indiana to see how Purina's new Wind and Rain Storm mineral was developed to overcome the odds.
Everybody's got a love of something. Everybody's got an interest. Everybody's got a passion. And mine is these cattle. I really enjoy it. Just trying to make the most complete animal that I can make.
Steve Quimby began raising cattle 30 years ago in southern Indiana. Herd health is very important to the Quimby Cattle Company, and when Steve noticed his herd was not performing at its peak, he called a local cattle specialist.
Really?
Known Steve for several years, and a year ago he challenged me to improve some problems that he was having with his herd.
We used to have flies really bad. This new Purina mineral I tried really helped from controlling the flies. And so, you know, like in people, we must all have the right nutrition if we're going to be healthy, and I believe the same thing's got to take place in the livestock.
Purina's Wind and Rain Storm mineral made a difference Steve says he could see. It also helped address other issues.
It involved reproductive efficiency, herd health, feed issues, fly control, fly pressure, immunity in calves, and we designed a program to start off with to address some of those challenges, and we'll continue to tweak those as we move forward. We got cows to eat mineral. Consistency level was good. Even the calves nursing the cows on side were hitting the feeder consistently, hitting all the cows. Cows spent less time last summer standing in the pond, in the creek. Fly pressure was noticeably less, not near the foot challenges. Immune function was good.
I worked with David Newsom. He's been very good and helped me. I called him probably 2 to 3 years ago, and I've always respected David and his knowledge of the cattle industry and the nutritional aspect of it. And I called him and told him some of the problems I was having, and he said, give me a little time and I'll get it worked out. And he was very faithful about calling me back, coming and visiting me. We walked through the cattle. He came up with some ideas. So I started using his product and how he wanted me to use it, and I've seen success out of it. Him and Purina people has been very good for me.
Purina's new mineral formula, Wind and Rain Storm, combines several new technologies and improves upon previous formulas to create something beneficial for both the cattle and producers. Purina's research farm in Missouri develops new products to meet customers' needs, and each time the research team starts by looking for a solution to a problem.
The thing that we tried to do with the Storm mineral is to provide a way for it to resist water, not digestion. And we're able to do that with the technology that our process research group came up with. But the next step is to identify or ensure that it is digestible, because if it gets wet and it dries out and clumps up, you got to throw it away. It's a bad thing. But if it resists the water, then your question is, well, are the cows going to be able to utilize it? So basically, we have a lot of capabilities here at our facility with our metabolism unit, where we can look at the mineral in different situations, whether it be in vitro digestion or in the cow, and we've identified and determined that we have not decreased digestion at all.
I worked with Dr. Scott in the lab. We took probably 30 or 40 different treatments, different ingredients, and different processing techniques, and then we put them in a small artificial rainforest where we sprayed water on them, put it under a heat lamp to simulate the sun to make sure it would still flow. Then we turned them over to Dr. Scott, where he did the palatability and the consumption work, as well as digestibility and nutritional availability work.
Dr. Scott and Dr. Lanter worked closely together to develop Purina's Wind and Rain Storm mineral to meet the needs of cattlemen just like Steve Quimby.
The consumption was up quite a bit, very consistent. On my little operation, it seemed like, you know, before if I'd put out a bag of mineral, it might last 2 weeks, it might last a week. There was really what you call no consistency. With this new mineral putting out every week for no more cows than I got, I don't know how that broke down as far as ounces, 4 to 5 ounces per head or whatever, but every week that would just be consistent right across the board. I don't feed my mineral open. I have it in a feeder that's got covers on it. From that standpoint, there was one feeder over on the back that I had that was a little open, and those cattle went ahead and ate that after rains and everything. There was no problem. It didn't set up. It stayed very pliable, and it was very, very easy to consume.
So we've actually been able to make snack eaters out of cattle. So they walk up to a feed bunk, eat a little bit, walk away, come back later and eat some more. And with that, we've made cattle more efficient.
Really excited about the Wind and Rain Storm Mineral, as we've taken what was an industry-leading product in terms of weatherization and consistent intake and made it better. Our results in terms of fine-tuning the intake and getting closer to our 4-ounce average across multiple test herds was very intriguing. The mineral doesn't brick up as much when it got wet as the old product, and we've made substantial strides in improvement.
Purina's passion for excellent animal health, nutrition, and husbandry means products are research tested to meet or exceed expectations.
What our cattleman finds in the product that comes from our research center here is the time and effort and quality control and innovation that it takes and time it took to develop products for them. These aren't things that we can just look at someone's tag and copy it and put it out on the shelf. This is something where we spend a lot of time and effort feeding cattle, working in process, working with plants, putting in new equipment to develop new products.
It's all about passion. If we love what we do, and if we didn't love what we did, we wouldn't do a very good job of it. And we're known as the leaders or the innovators in the industry, and that's because of a variety of things. Number one, you mentioned passion. Number two, we have had a continual investment in research and development.
That dedication on Purina's research farm translates to the local level, where cattle specialists take the time to ensure your herd gets the correct mineral.
I'll ask questions: what's important to them? What feed resources are available? What's your biggest challenge? What's your biggest problem? And then we'll start with the big things first and fine tune as we move forward. And like I said, need to know what resources are available, whether they're hand feeding cows or they've got good quality hay or poor quality hay, if fly pressure is an issue, if we've had foot problems, if reproductive performance, and we really want to know what those big challenges are, and then we'll start attacking there and then fine tune and get the fine details as we move forward.
From what I want to accomplish, maybe some of the problems I had in my herd, the Purina mineral has seemed to help limit those problems, maybe correct those problems. And not saying everything's fault-free, nothing's perfect, but I think we're sure on the right track with the way we're headed.
Developing a new mineral for specific issues ensures a targeted and effective nutrition program. The experts at Land O'Lakes Purina Feed know that herd health is the most important aspect for any operation.
I think one of the biggest challenges when you're trying to figure out a new nutrition program is understanding what are your limitations, what are you trying to solve, rather than just taking something off the shelf and trying to use it in whatever way you can. It's good to know the features and attributes of products that you may be looking at and matching them up with the challenge that you have for a good solution. And that's where our salespeople and our dealers come in, because they can help our cattlemen get their hands around what are they trying to get done and how we may have some solutions to those challenges.
From a cow-calf perspective, minerals are the single most important thing we can have. Minerals are the basic building blocks to all metabolic function, and we want to optimize our forage resources, and we certainly know that if we don't have those tools right, the simplest form of supplementation, 3 to 4 ounces per cow per day, that we can't effectively utilize our greatest resource, and that's our grasses.
The Purina program has made a difference that I can see in my cattle operation as I walk through it, from the standpoint the cattle look healthier, they look more vibrant, and they're just in better condition, and I'm very, very pleased with what Purina has done for me.
It's a difference you can see. Purina's Wind and Rain Storm Mineral, with the ultimate in weather resistance and consistent consumption that reduces waste and optimizes herd health and performance, all for more profit potential for the cattlemen. Minerals that soak up water will cake up and form a hard crust, a layer that cattle won't eat. Purina's Wind and Rain Storm sheds the water and remains palatable.
I guess one of the biggest things I've learned here is you have to stick to it, because a lot of the really big advances take quite a few years. A number of the biggest ones I've worked on took 6-7 years from the time we first started and started testing them on our research farm to when we actually had a plant built and were successful selling it to our customers and was really able to give them the benefit. So it takes quite a while to develop a really game-changing product.
The one thing that we noted in some of the testimonies that we had from the cattlemen that tried the mineral is that they can tell a difference in the mineral, because when they put it out and it gets wet, they had less waste. And when cattle eat mineral consistently, they look better and they look different. It's really a difference you can see.
I'm not going to say Purina is the only mineral. I'm not going to say they're the best mineral. But for my operation, it flat works. And so I would advise it for anyone.
Reporting from the Quimby Cattle Company in Bloomington, Indiana, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Purina's Wind and Rain Storm Mineral is designed to put more of your mineral dollars to work in the cow, resulting in optimal herd health and reproduction for more profit potential. Purina's Wind and Rain Storm Mineral is available in specific regions and will be available nationally by early 2013. To see the difference for yourself with Wind and Rain Storm, talk to your local Purina representative to find out more, or just visit us online at cattlemantocattleman.org.